Today is May 25th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com, brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganaz St. Louis Acura. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, Cardinals win today. It was a quick one, about 2 hours or so. I think just a little over the 2-hour mark. Cardinals win 2-1 over the Reds. They split the series with the Reds. It would have been nice to take 3 out of 4, but you'll take it. It's a series you didn't lose, and you move on to Cleveland.
Well, they blew a game, at least one game, and so I'm not satisfied with the results. But there's nothing you do about it. I think this series pointed out the serious problems they have in the entire pitching staff, starting with the rotation, primarily the rotation, but that's burning out and therefore exposing the bullpen. And I think it's a major, major concern. And we won't know until we see how it unfolds. And perhaps I don't want to be one of those guys that's always on the negative side. I try not to be, but I think this Liberatore situation relative to the starting rotation as it exists is not unfolding well decision-wise for the Cardinals.
Well, Liberatore will get the start tomorrow in Cleveland. He'll start game 1 of the weekend series, and we'll see how his appearance earlier in the week kind of affects that. If it was a true bullpen day that just happened to be in the middle of an actual game that counted, and we'll see how that does affect the Cardinals' young lefty. The Cardinals today, Luke Weaver, former first round pick, as spent a couple years in the Cardinals organization, went out there and shut him down for the most part. In the game, 3 hits and 6 strikeouts. So you would think that you would have a better book on somebody like Luke Weaver, who you trade away. But on the other side, though, if we're going to look at the positives of today, Miles Mikolas went out there and did what your ace is supposed to do.
He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. And you don't ask for a shutout every time out in 7 innings, but can you give me the innings and keep me in the game? Mm-hmm. And that's what I expect from him. Again, not necessarily a shutout, but give me 7 and make sure we're still in the game. 2 runs, 3 runs, even 4 runs. As long as you're in the game, that's what he and the other starters need to do.
Yeah, 7 innings, 5 hits for Miles Mikolas, and with 5 strikeouts. Also, no walks. That's the big thing. Allowed there was the error in the first inning that on Tommy Edman that allowed that extra base runner, and then Giovanni Gallegos comes in. His day to close today. He comes in. You don't have to use Ryan Helsley in the game. Got into a little bit of trouble. Gave up that run in the 9th inning, but by the end of it, kind of bared down, struck out the final batter of the game, and now you have Ryan Helsley ready to go for your first game in Cleveland for your A bullpen to go that Friday night.
Yeah, Gallegos is good. He, as you said, he was not great today, but I wish the Cardinals would learn, and maybe they know it, but they're so fearful of the alternative answers that pitching your back of the bullpen guys more than an inning at a time is a recipe for disaster. I'm just telling you, over the course of time, it is. And if they don't figure that out, or again, have alternatives that can help with that, let me backtrack for a moment. If I've got a guy in a bullpen and as a manager, I don't have confidence that he can deliver, I can't in good conscience go to him, right?
Right.
Can't do it. So I don't know which of those things it is, and you won't get a straight answer, nor should you. A manager's not going to bury one of his players. But the multiple innings in your 8th and 9th inning guys in today's game, you're begging to get beat up over the course of time.
Cardinals move on to Cleveland as they make this little Ohio trip this week. You know what you're getting out of the Guardians. They're a good team, and they're a team that I'm happy that we get to see them once a year. They're well managed right now, 7 games under 500, but they have guys in there in that lineup that can turn things around in a hurry and can sweep you this weekend.
Yeah, their offense has underachieved to this point, and you would certainly expect them to turn it around, as you point out. Will it be this weekend? I don't know. Will they suffer this from the same disease the Cardinals have, seeing a left-hander they've never seen before? I don't know. That might be that might just be native to the St. Louis locker room.
I think if you follow other teams, I believe that there are other teams out there that also think that a no-name lefty that pitches against them will shut them down every single time. But I think we're in our own bubble. I think if you go outside the bubble, I think it's more of an issue around baseball than what we might think here in St. Louis for the last decade plus.
Well, I prefer the sky is falling position, so I'm not going to do the extra research.
Nolan Gorman again, reigning player of the week. He wins it for you in the eighth, and just it continues to have just a remarkable season that you thought he was going to be okay. You thought he was going to be good. I don't think anybody was sitting here banking on him being this productive for the Cardinals and really kind of saving them so far in the month of May.
Yeah, I would agree. I got to be honest. I thought, okay, Gorman will be your left-handed DH. And if he performs well there, hey, good. I didn't think there'd be much more. And boy, was I wrong. And I'm so glad because he's fun to watch. All reports about his attitude and work ethic and drive are all excellent. And, he performs and he's making it happen for the Cardinals. They need him in there every day.
I think what I'm looking forward to most for to look at how the team is going to perform these next couple weeks. You just won a game today by giving a day off to Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, and Wilson Contreras.
Yeah.
You gave all three of them a full day off. They did not pinch hit. I don't know how many times Wilson Contreras had to go out there and warm up the pitcher in between innings. I wasn't watching or paying attention that closely, but you were able to give them full days off. How long is that going to last? How is that going to affect their play over the next 10 days?
Yeah, and about in the middle of this long stretch, the timing was right. They kind of pulled the La Russa with the scrub lineup on a getaway day. I appreciate what they did. I think they got away with it thanks to Miles Michaelis. But they ain't Tony La Russa.
Cardinals and Guardians tomorrow night in Cleveland. We will be back to preview that 3-game series for you tomorrow here on Claibs Online. We're brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks of Missouri and also Munganess St. Louis Acura. Go online right now to stlouisacura.com and you can see all of the brand new MDXs that they have there on the lot at 13720 Manchester Road. Go out there and see them or make an appointment to go out there and visit them by visiting stlouisacura.com and know exactly what you're looking for when you get there because it's all right there on their website. So many cars. If you drive by there in Manchester, you will see just the amount of MDXs that they have there ready for you to buy. Go there. Tell them Claib sent you. You'll get a big discount. Tell them I sent you. You'll get a little less of a discount. But do so out there at Munganess St. Louis Acura. We will talk to you tomorrow, a Friday edition of Daily Cards Live. Until then, he is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you tomorrow right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.